This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Hey, welcome to another episode of Random Ish with Sanja. How you doing? I'm good. You know, we are in 2020, making our way. My goodness. It's just crazy because 2020, when I was a kid, we were like making, jokes about 2020 and how we're going to be in these futuristic suits and we're going to be flying everywhere. And the video phones, which we do have, so that's pretty cool. I was a big fan of the Jetsons. You guys remember that cartoon? Yes. Astro World. What? Oh, man. That was good times back in the day. Keeping it simple. Saturday morning cartoons, because there was only 5 channels that you could watch. Oh, times have changed. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of change and channels, so I'm just kind of wondering right now, like, where TV and entertainment, like, where everything is going. Because now, like, everybody's got their own apps. You got to get this, you got to get that. Yeah, we're kind of missing cable a little bit, right? I'm just saying. One bill for all the channels. Kind of missing those days, yeah. That's why I'm a fan of Sling myself. Because, you can have, more than, you can get, like, a lot of the different things on the one. And the yeah, anyways. Oh, man. Well, that was just an inspiration from, my life, pretty much, with all the different apps. I'm like, I just saw a person who's going to be on a CBS show that I would like to see and realize that I'm not going to be able to watch that because I don't have the CBS app. So that's the reason why I'm talking about that. Like, oh, my goodness. It's a little crazy. Speaking of a little crazy, it's the beginning of the year where we all get a little crazy, right? Who's with me? It's time to start working on that summer body, the summer 2020 body. I'm sure everybody, like we all in our minds are like, dude, we're going to look our best. This is going to happen. We're going for it. All of the gym parking lots are crazy packed. Yeah, yesterday I picked up somebody. I really need to start like an Adventures of the Uber driver type thing. I picked up a person from the gym and he was like, yeah, you know how it is. Everybody comes to the gym. By the end of January, the parking lot will be empty again. I was just like, that's cold-blooded, man. You don't have no faith in these people. You're just like, nah. After January, they're done. I'm just saying. It is kind of true, though, right? It's kind of hard to stick with the consistency of things. And then last night, I'm about to tell on myself. So you ever do something that makes you just go, wait, what? Why did I just do that? You ever do that? Okay, so I had one of those moments. And that is the inspiration of the show today. And then, of course, because of the attractiveness, right? Not the attractiveness of me, but although I am attractive. I mean the attractiveness of the law of attraction. This morning, one of my writers, exactly what we were talking about. Oh, man. So let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. So last night, I'm getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden, I have like a craving for a cracker. Now, mind you, like 5 minutes before that, I was sitting on the couch, right? And I'm watching something, probably the Kardashians, somebody with a snatched waist. And I was like, oh man, I really want my waist snatched again, right? Literally, my thought, a little uncomfortable. Gotta work out a little harder or, whatever. Those are my thoughts, right? Okay. A couple minutes go by. I'm like, oh, I'm sleepy. I should get ready to go to bed, And then I'm like, oh man, but I want a cracker, right? So then I start eating the cracker. And it's like a gluten-free cracker that tastes like nothing anyway, right? But as I'm eating the cracker, it dawns on me. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't I just have a bad thought about myself like 5 minutes before? And now I'm over here eating an effing cracker, which is like, makes you, inflamed and makes your belly feel all bloated. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And then I started laughing to myself. I'm like, oh my God, there it is. There's the laws right there. And I'm like, and what's funny is that I am a former trainer, and I used to always tell my clients, that the way that I lost the weight before was by my thinking. It wasn't because of what I was eating, because it was literally just the way that I was thinking. And I'm like, oh my God, I did it again. I did. You have a negative thought, right? And I literally, this is the story I would tell my clients. You ever know, you have that syndrome where you have a negative thought about yourself, about your body, and then 5 minutes later, you're like eating ice cream or eating cake or something like that. And you don't know why. And I'm like, and now, of course, that I've been studying energy even more intently, now I'm like, oh my God, son of a bitch. That's the law of attraction, motherfucker. Because you're having a negative thought, right? So because you're having a negative thought, you're putting out negative energy. So therefore, your action is going to match that energy to give you more reasons to have negative thoughts and to feel like, oh, it's never going to work. I was like, son of a bitch. Because we all know people who can eat any damn thing and they do not gain weight, right? And then there's other people who are like, oh my God, if I look at cake, I'm like gaining 5 pounds. And I know that our genes and everything have a part to play in it. But like, dude, I'm over here playing in a playground, so to speak. I'm experimenting on myself, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I was of being my body, right? I ain't gonna lie to you, honey, I was tired of living with roommates and I was driving myself crazy. So when I got my little tiny house, bitch, for a month and a half, I promise you, I ate and made blueberry muffins for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was just excited. So I just ate blueberry muffins every single day. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. And can I tell you how I realized that I had ate blueberry muffins every single day? It wasn't because I realized that I had ate. I was noticing it. I noticed that when I went to go make another batch, I was like, oh, snap. And realized that I was at the end of the foils for the cupcake, for the tin. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, Sanja. It was just like, I was just like, oh my God, Sanja. Yeah, look what you done did, girl. You having fun, you know? And so it was good too. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was good. It was worth it. But now, of course, now I got to work that back off. So now I put on, good, I don't know, probably like 10 pounds of just like blah, you know what I mean? And putting on 10 pounds of blah is, not a fun thing to try to take off. So, of course, I'm now, I've been working out and stuff like that and having to find new ways of working out. So, being tender and taking good care of the body. So I had this thought last night, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, I have got to change my vibration. That is crazy because I didn't think like that before. Why the hell am I thinking like that? So the funny thing is this morning, I get a ride and we're driving. And so, what's up, Stella? So Stella and I are having a conversation about her and her mans and how they are now on a kick or they want to like eat healthy and they want to like, work out and they're trying all of these different classes. And she's like, she's like, when I'm trying to not eat fast food anymore. And I'm like, I did that as well. I do think that we're not trying to talk smack or anything, but fast food can be a little dangerous. I have been eating at home more. I'm not into like doing specific diets, but I have been trying to incorporate more greens. And I do realize there's a difference in eating more greens in my diet than when I'm not. So the conversation that Stella and I were having is, so I told her, I was like, yo, I'm going to confess something to you, girl. Oh, last night, I had a negative thought about my mid-waist and then turned around a couple minutes later and ate an item that, it makes the mid-waist expand. And then realized, oh my God. That's the laws. That's like, and we wonder why it is why this is happening. And, then we're mad at ourselves because we don't have the willpower to not eat it. And it's like, but dude, you can't really buck the law. Like, that's what's going on, And she was like, oh my God, girl. Right? She was feeling me. Like, it made sense. So I feel like I really am going to do everything I can. And I'm going to try to journal as much as I can, vocally and video wise, this year on the journey of keeping the queen mentality, because these are things that I know and I've been exercising, but for the past year I had specifically said I wanted to feel feelings, you know what I mean? And feel all my feelings because I wanted to write a book about feelings and the laws of attraction, right? But now I'm ready to take it to the next level. So we have to do the queen mentality, right? And looking at things a little bit differently. And instead of looking at it like, I want to lose weight, which is what what I would tell my clients. Don't look at it like you want to lose weight. Instead, look at it like maybe you want to gain some muscle. Look at it like maybe you want to improve your cardiovascular system. Maybe you just want to improve your overall health. But instead of thinking of that you're losing something, because again, using the laws, because it does apply to everything, you won't lose it, because there's no such thing as no. So if you're thinking about 20 pounds, like there's, I feel like, now you might argue with me and say, well, if somebody might say, I want to lose 20 pounds, and then they go to the gym and they work really hard and then they lose the 20 pounds. And that's true, but we don't have a way of being inside somebody's brain. But the laws say that there's no way that the person is thinking of a loss. They're thinking about what they're gaining. So they might be thinking, I want to get into that dress. They might be thinking, I want my waist to be XYZ. You know what I mean? And I just think that that's what it is, that's for us, is that instead of thinking what we don't want, which is the excess weight, we got to think about what it is that we do want, that snatched waist. So I'm pretty sure that for those who are achieving the success with the diets or with the exercise or whatever, that's their true mentality, is that they're thinking about the thing they're going to gain, what they're looking for, versus what they're trying to lose. So with that being said, that's what we about to do. We about to try to, look at for what we want to gain from now on. I think it's very interesting that, you can do all of this work and know all of this stuff, but it doesn't matter about what you know. You got to actually put it in some type of, action. And the thing about action is that there's like motivated action and then there's inspired action. And I personally like to move from inspired action. Like today, like I knew I wanted to work out, but there's a time when your body is like ready. That's another thing that when I was a trainer, that we would tell the clients is that, so if you go to a class, say all the time at 10 o'clock, right? What happens is your body then gets prepared at 10 o'clock. Well, not at 10 o'clock, but actually before 10 o'clock, your body will start preparing for the exercise or the stress that it knows that it's getting ready to endure. So I think one of the things that is important, and I'm, again, for myself, I think my body is a little bit in shock, because I used to be working out like, 8 hours, and now, you know what I mean? I want to do something different. Although I will say this, like I said, I feel like there's different ways for us to achieve our goals. And I am just no longer into this working so hard to try to get results. I just don't want to do that. I'm in my test the universe mode. I'm in my, see what blessings are really inside of me mode. Like that's the mode that I'm in. So with that being said, I think that that's maybe how we should handle our 2020 body, right? So if you feel me on that, do for sure hit me up. And if you want to join me. So I just want to send a shout out to some of the ladies. I think that we're all kind of in the weight loss. Actually, again, we're not in the weight loss. No. We're going to gain muscle, right? Gaining more muscle, gaining more cardiovascular endurance. Shout out to Misty and the crew. They're doing like that whole where you bet to, against what you're going to lose or whatever. But here's for all of you who are into the weight loss, I just want to send off one more piece of tidbit, is that it's always really not about the number on the scale. Matter of fact, it's never about the number that's on the scale. And it's not your BMI. You really want to check your fat percentage and your hip to waist ratio. That's what it's really all about. We want to make sure that our waistlines are, at least 35 and under, just because, then you have less chance of heart disease and things like that. But I'm also going to say that I don't know if that's necessarily true, because I know some people who are full body but are healthy and work out a lot. So I think that if you're a person who works out a lot and you've got a nice, great, cardiovascular, and if you can run for 2 minutes or jog for 2 minutes or whatever, and you're not like, you know what I mean? I think you're pretty much in good shape. So maybe I'll take away that whole, because that's a recommendation, that whole 35 inches, But I do think that it is a matter of your fat percentage that you want to be checking out, and then also your inches. So instead of looking at the number on the scale, because muscle weighs more than fat, and I've known some very, very thin, athletic build people who like weigh 150 pounds, but they look like they weigh 120. So it's really more about the fat percentage. And please don't, like, seriously, women, you want to have boobies, okay? We want to have good skin and hair and nails, right? Like, we don't want our nails and hair and, you know, things like that breaking off just because you want to be a size 0. And that's not what your body really should be. You know what I mean? So with that, I think we are aimed, and we now have some good ammunition for taking us into the year. Remember, we're going to work on thinking of what we want, of why it is that we're exercising, why are we eating better, because we're thinking of the gains, not the losses. We're going to be checking our fat percentage to make sure that that number is changing. Also, the water percentage, you want to make sure that that's nice and high. And then we also want to check the inches on our body versus looking at the number on the scale, because if you are gaining muscle, that number is not going to really move, but your clothes are going to fit better. Everything's going to fit better. And then one day the number on the scale is going to move, but you got to get the momentum going for all of that. So, okay, guys, are we ready? I already did my workout today. So yeah. Oh, another thing that I noticed too about myself, which I don't know, it's really funny. And I think it might be because I'm having to get back in the swing of things. Because when I was in the swing of things, I was kind of like, I don't understand why people need a chart. But now that I have to get back into the swing of things, I realize that on the days that I mark somewhere that I worked out, I do it more often than if I just try to keep that in my head. Until I get back into the swing of things, then it's like not your body looks forward to working out, you know? But try not to let more than 2 weeks go by without you getting active. So I think that's all we need, right? We're going to incorporate more healthy foods. We're not going to do that whole going to the gym, working out like crazy, and then injuring ourselves and then can't do it anymore and quit before the end of January, right? We're not going to do that. And we're not going to compare ourselves to other people. We're not going to try to be some quote unquote standard of beauty. We're going to look for our own personal gains. We're going to encourage ourselves. We're going to watch our numbers, right? And we're going to be sexy this summer 2020, okay? So you guys are going to have to, you guys are my accountability partners, okay? And we're going to go for it, right? Let the momentum build. Here we come, summer 2020.
This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Hey there. So listen, I am so excited because my little baby is growing and I am just like, I'm feeling like a proud little parent over here. I'm talking about manifest beauty. It's been a phrase that I've been saying for quite some time. And whenever I would tell people that's a company name, they'd be like, what? But now when I say manifest beauty, people kind of understand. We're not talking about beauty aesthetics, but we're talking about when you take your life and you create beauty in the world, regardless of what has happened to you. There are some things I've picked up on, some patterns, some energies, some coincidences, timing, synchronicities, all of that good stuff that I noticed over the course of my life, and would always talk about it with people and they'd be like, girl, you should put it in a book. Well, I did. So it's Manifest Beauty. Go online, check it out. If you're into consciousness, if you're into creation, if you're into manifesting, I got some real good gems in there for you so that you can show yourself that you are the bomb and that you are connected to source. So go online. It's on Walmart.com, Amazon.com, and a few other places that sell books as well. Manifest Beauty. Written by me, Sanja Denise.